Hideaway from 1995, starring Jeff Goldblum, based on a Dean Koontz story. This is a psychological, supernatural horror movie about a guy who gets in a car accident, dies for 2 hours, and is brought back to life with this new medicine from Dr. Octopus, Spider-Man 2. He's in this as Dr. Jonas, and he comes back with the power of visions, and he can see this psycho kill people, and then this psycho ends up targeting Jeff Goldblum's daughter and family, and he has to find out where this killer is and stop him before he attacks his family. This is from the director of Dead Pit and Lawnmower Man. Check out Dead Pit if you haven't seen it. Very cheesy, low-budget zombie movie at a hospital. And one of the writers of this movie did Seven the same year, which is a fantastic masterpiece. And one of the writers of this did River's Edge, which I just saw recently. Wasn't too crazy about it. But yeah, so some good writers did this movie. But is this a well-written movie? Let's get into it. What do I like about it? I liked the opening. I thought it had a promising opening. Very creepy and dark. This kid murdering his family and, doing some satanic shit. So it just set a really dark tone for the rest of the film. This also stars Jeremy Sisto, along with Jeff Goldblum. And Jeremy Sisto and the actress who plays Jeff Goldblum's wife, I thought gave the best performances. Jeremy's character is the killer. And he's just pretty good at playing evil. He's just stone cold. He's like almost excited to kill. At one moment, he gets like a vision, finds out where Jeff Goldblum works, and he's like, yes! Like he's excited to go kill. And, and the wife has some really good dramatic scenes. I thought she was pretty good. And, these characters have some good depth to them. I like the family. And you really get a good understanding of what they've been through before the opening. And this has also a very cool kind of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 third act at an empty amusement park. It's just instantly, I was like, this is Texas Battlelands. Like the killer, his hideaway, his hideout is this empty amusement park. And I just thought the set piece looked pretty cool. The cinematography is really good. I like the look of the movie, cinematography-wise, some of the lighting choices, and the premise is not original at all, but it's still interesting. I like the idea of it. It's very like Eyes of Laura Mars, and more recently, kind of like Malignant, which is a movie I absolutely love. Seeing visions of murders as they happen, it's that kind of movie. And this has a decent pace for a longer than 90-minute movie. It's like an hour and 50 almost, but it doesn't really feel that long. I thought the movie moved at a good pace. I wasn't really bored. But what I don't like about the movie is that this movie ages very poorly when it comes to its visual effects, and this movie relies on that shit a lot in a few scenes, and like in the opening credits or right before, and then later on, like when they have some of these visions, like their eyes will glow blue, and then later on there's like this whole CGI visual effect battle, and it just looks so bad, like jaw dropping. Like, what am I looking at? What does this even mean? Like, I don't like the whole finale. I just thought it was visually atrocious. I did not like any of that shit. And also, I felt like Dr. Octopus, I thought his character should have played a little bit of a bigger role in this movie, given who his character was. He's the one that invented this drug that resurrects people. And, I just felt like his character was just really wasted. Like, he needed to be in the movie more. Plus, he's a good actor, and I just felt like they didn't really use him here. And there's just very little suspense. Like, when the family's getting attacked by the end, I just felt nothing. Like, certain scenes could have been done way better. The suspense of the car crash at the beginning, like, they could have played with that, did that better. Them slowly getting out of the car just felt quick. Like, they should have let some scenes breathe a little more and really stretch it out and build the suspense and the anticipation for what's about to happen. But I just felt very little tension and suspense in this movie. And every little reveal in this movie is very obvious from the jump. There's nothing shocking except for the bad visual effects. Uh, Plot wise, there's nothing shocking like a reveal, like, oh, this is who this person is. This is their connection to this character, and this is like, you're like, I know that. Like, I figured that right away. They hide the identity of this person in the opening, but you hear their voice, and you're like, well, I recognize that voice. Like, I know who that is. But you're just questioning why they're doing what they're doing, and they don't give a good enough reason. And lastly, I thought Jeff Goldblum's performance in this movie was just very uneven. Like, in the first act, I thought he was fine. I was like, all right, he's good. And then as the movie went along, he just got worse and worse. Like, there's just scenes where I was like shocked by how bad it was. In my opinion, I just thought, wow, he should have did that better. Like, was that the only take? Really? Wow. Like, especially when he's talking to the psychic, doing the tarot cards and stuff. I thought that scene was horribly acted. So final thoughts, this is a kind of run-of-the-mill man trying to protect his family from a psycho killer movie with some good acting, a cool 90s rock soundtrack, but it just is hurt a lot by its dated look and feel, the visual effects, along with a weak script and a shaky performance from the lead. So when it comes to Hideaway, I'll give it 2.5 out of 5. Alright, I guess a quick spoiler discussion. I don't have a whole lot to say, but the opening is this guy killing his mom and sister, and I liked how it was revealed, because at first you just think they're in the room praying, but then when you see their bodies later on, they're like made to look like they're praying. They're actually like wrapped up and tied, and so that was kind of a cool reveal. And then he like lowers himself on a blade. I thought he was going to do the Dead Zone thing where he's going to lower his face on it, but he did like a push up on top of it, and we actually get to see like an insert shot of the blade go through his chest, so you get a little bit of practical effects in here that look good. And then you see like his CGI soul going to hell, what it looks like. That's how I read that. I think that's what it's supposed to be. He's going to hell, but then his dad brings him back, and then that's the reveal later on that he was brought back to life from his dad. His dad is Dr. Octopus, and it was like not shocking at all. Like, okay, yeah, I figured that's what was going on. And why? Why bring him back? I would have tried to bring back the wife, the daughter, but I guess they were dead for too long. So Hatch drowns in the car. He gets in a car accident, drives off a cliff with his family. They get out. He drowns. 2 hours later, he's brought back to life. And again, we see his CGI soul going to heaven, and he sees his dead daughter, and she looks like she's naked at first. I'm not sure if she was supposed to be naked, but are we all going to be naked in heaven? Is that how it works? Do we just walk around naked in heaven? And he should be pissed. Like, when he comes back to life, he's not pissed at all. Like, he was about to go to heaven with his dead daughter, and now he has to come back to this shitty earth. So I would have been like, no, put me back. Just kill me. This is a nitpick, but I just thought it was a big coincidence that Regina, his daughter, goes to the same club as the killer, and he is acting like such a creep to her, but it seems like at the end of that scene that she was still kind of attracted to him. But the way he was acting, he's clearly like a serial killer. He was going to take you back to his place and kill you Buffalo Bill style. Like, I don't know why she seemed so attracted to him. That's how I read it. It seemed like she was still like thinking about going back and talking to him after her friends left. But it's a good thing she had those friends with her to take her out of there, because they were smart. They're like, this guy's a creep. They told him to fuck off. So it's a good thing they were there. When the private detective like gets hit with the crowbar, the way that was done looked pretty bad. The choreography of that, like how choreographed it was. He just went so slow with it, and it looked like he clearly missed him, so it just didn't look good. Hatch finds out that if he causes himself pain, he can have visions. He can induce visions, and so he uses a cigarette lighter on himself, and he does not express pain. the way he should have, because I can tell you firsthand that touching a cigarette lighter hurts like a motherfucker, and your hand's going to be on fire for hours later. When I was a kid, I didn't know what cigarette lighters were. I was probably like 6 or 7 in my dad's truck, pressed it in, didn't know what it was, took it out, and boom. And from my memory, I remember, and maybe I'm just remembering it wrong, but I remember like smoke coming off of my finger. Like that's how hot it was. Like my skin was on fire. It blackened it, and then like smoke was coming off my fingertip. That's how I remember it. But it's very hot, and it hurts like a motherfucker. And this guy puts it on his hand. He keeps it there for like a whole minute, it seems like. And he's just like, like, no, more pain. He should be in more pain than that. You wouldn't be able to hold back how painful that is. And yeah, so we find out that he brought back his son. We never know why he would want to even bring back that psycho son of a bitch. Like, this, your son kills your wife and daughter, and you want to desperately bring him back? Now, fuck that kid. Put him in the ground and forget about him. For some reason, Jeremy's eyes are really sensitive to light. I forget why how, but, because Hatch, his eyes are perfectly fine when he comes back, but the son, his eyes aren't. I forget what the reason was, but it just reminded me of my situation, being so sensitive to light. I had an eye injury once where I couldn't be in light at all. Opening the fridge at night, just the fridge light hitting you in the face, it was painful. I went through like 100 tissue boxes because my eye was just constantly pouring from just there being a little bit of light in the room. So I was like, I know how it feels, Jeremy. I know how it feels. This scene where the mom gets separated from Hatch, I think could have been done way better. Like, it seems like he teleported. He falls down the stairs. His wife was just behind him, but she quietly got taken away. He goes back up, looks around. It's like a long tunnel, and he doesn't see the killer running away with his wife or hears it. Like, he's just that far gone. Like, how did that happen? He teleports? Like, that should have been done way better. I thought it was a little weird that the mom called him a skinny fuck, like that was an insult. It's not bad being skinny, so she should have chose a different insult, like, hey, pig fucker. No one wants to be a pig fucker, but calling someone a skinny fucker, like, that's a compliment. Then we get the final battle where all of a sudden, as Jeremy and Hatch are fighting, their, like, eyes start glowing, and then, like, the things come out of them, whatever these things are, like their soul, or not really, no. Their powers, their spirits, or like just this blue ball of shit just flies out of him, and then with Jeremy's character, like this red cloud of souls and whatever fly out of him, and it's like good versus evil, and it just looks really bad. The effects here are terrible. I don't understand how this is happening, what made this start happening in the middle of their fight. I don't get it, and it just looks terrible. So take it out. I would have been much more happy with just these two people fighting each other to the death and him killing Jeremy and saving his family. Why couldn't it have been just more simple? So yep, that's the end of this movie. Killer is killed, family lives, happily ever after. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you've seen here, you can hit this like button and become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And remember, it's all an opinion. You don't need to get butthurt about it.